What up, B Squad? It's me, JB, and we are here today, you guys, with another review for Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 7, Episode number 6, you guys. And this episode was titled Pretty Hurts. Now, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, need you guys to do me that favor. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And I meant to say stop taking me out on this day, but it didn't come out right. But y'all know what I meant. Now, let's go ahead and get into this episode review of Sistas. And sorry that this is late, but let's get into it. All right, you guys. So we see as Andy is having dinner. She's having the girls. Well, actually, it wasn't even dinner. It was breakfast, I guess. Breakfast, lunch, I don't know what it was. I thought it was dinner, but it wasn't. So Danny came over. Danny looked amazing when she came in that apartment. I was like, okay, Danny, looking good, right? So they were actually celebrating Sabrina's birthday. Now, we finally got a mention of Robin. I was like, my God, we haven't heard Robin's name in quite some time, but Andy said that Robin is gone. Didn't really go into detail about why Robin is gone or where Robin is currently, but Andy let us know that Robin is gone. And so Danny, they were talking, they went around, they started talking about, the things that they love about Sabrina. They also said, well, actually not, they also said, oh God, sorry you guys, I'm all over the place right about now, but they said what they love about Sabrina, right? Then somehow, I don't remember how the conversation came up, but Danny was talking about how she's gotten into reading erotic stories. And I was like, okay, very interesting, but I was like, okay, I guess whatever, right? Then after that, Karen is talking about the fact that Zach wants a DNA test, and I think this came up because Sabrina mentioned to the girls that she was going to be freezing her eggs, and then Karen was talking about the fact that Zach and Fatima want to know that the baby wants her to do a DNA test, right? And Danny was like, well, are they wrong? And I was like, Danny, you gonna tell her that you are the one that told Zach to do it? Oh, you not? Okay, Danny, I see you, girl. I see you. So one thing I will say about Sabrina in this particular scene, I love this outfit that Sabrina had on. It wasn't one of them ugly ass outfits that Sabrina's known for wearing. I was like, this is something that I like on Sabrina for once. So I got ahead of myself. She told them about freezing her eggs. And so back to Danny, right? Remember I told you guys that Danny she ain't telling Karen that she, urged Zach to get that DNA test as well, right? But she's asking, well, how do you know for certain that the baby is Zach's, right? Which, I mean, it is technically, she didn't do a DNA test on Zach, right? So, yeah. And when it comes to, oh, nope, got that all backwards. No, she did mention that, because she did say, was it a bad thing that Zach wanted? So, yeah. I'm again, you guys, sorry. Kind of all over the place. Work has been a lot this last week. Actually, for the last few months, it's been a lot. But this week has just been a whole hell of a lot for me. So my mind is just all over the place right about now. But yeah, we'll get it together eventually, guys, because I'm trying to figure some things out. But hey, now she was talking to Sabrina about how does Sabrina know that she wants to be a mother, right? And she's like, what happens if you get a child and you can't stand it? You can't send it back, right? And she was like, well, Danny, you have parents too, so you made it. I was like, well, you're right. So somehow they started talking about, it was because of Rich. Because Sabrina was talking about the fact that Rich doesn't want kids and he's dead set in not wanting kids. And I was like, well, Sabrina, he's told you this, so why do you continuously try to pursue something with the man that you know that doesn't want kids, but you want kids? And then Karen was talking about Zach, how he was with his, his mother growing up and how he projected that basically onto them. I was like, okay, but he's turning out to be a good father currently, so that we see. We'll pause here and we'll move forward, you guys. Next up, you guys, I could have done without this scene with Gary and Hayden together. So they were at the gym, right? You guys remember last week's episode, Gary took a bump of the booger sugar, right? And he went to the gym to see Hayden. His nose started to, bleed. I was like, ugh. That is one reason why I can never do anything like that when it comes to, I just couldn't, because the nose bleeding thing ain't for me. Because hell, this morning, I was cleaning my nose out and I just started pulling everything. I just started, when I pulled the Kleenex out, I had a nosebleed and didn't even know it. I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting, right? Ugh. But back to this. So Hayden is still trying to make partner at the firm. And at the firm, remember, Andy wants that position as well, right? And at this point, they're trying to figure out a way to stop Andy from getting the position. And, Hayden mentioned Tamara's name. He's like, you still with that gold digger? I was like, Gary, shut up. You are the last person to talk about anybody. But okay. So Hayden also asked, Gary, you over that whole situation with, what's her name? Andy and Jordan, right? He was like, yeah, I'm over it. No, you're not. You're just lying to yourself, sir. You're lying to yourself. Now, after this, Gary gonna sit there and have the audacity to say that he don't feel like a woman should have that much power. I was like, well, excuse you, little bitch. Then we move over to the salon, and Pam, I was really hoping that her acting would improve once they got the writers, but her acting is just as terrible as it's always been. So you guys know that Pam has this. I don't know if I don't know what it is with Pam. If Pam has a business that she's promoting, or if Pam is like a Instagram influencer trying to promote a business. I don't understand it because she's on her live and she had thousands of people. I think she had like 3,000 people on the live. But I don't understand what Pam is doing. If you guys get it, let me know. Moving back over to Sabrina, he went over to Maurice's place and he was doing, his thug dizzle, whatever that is, I don't know, right? So he started telling her about the date that he had. That's my problem with Maurice, is that he plays hard. Like, the playing hard to get was just kind of annoying to me. Like, if you like the guy, you like the guy. If you don't, you don't. Like, I was over. Y'all know how I felt about it. I was over it. But hey, you guys will definitely drop down and tell me how you felt about it. So Sabrina, now here's a weird thing with Sabrina. She's asking, because it's her birthday, she's asking Maurice, did Calvin, she's a little off because she hasn't heard from Calvin. She figured he would reach out to her since it was her birthday. And she asked Maurice, has he talked to Calvin? And he said, yes, I've talked to Calvin. And I was just like, Sabrina, why do you want to talk to Calvin? You are with Rich. What do you want to talk to Calvin about? What is there to discuss with Calvin? Please enlighten us about what there is to discuss with Calvin. But hey, she wants to talk to him. Maurice said he did call. He paid his rent money. I was like, what rent money? He doesn't live here anymore. But hey, whatever. So then she told Maurice about wanting to freeze her eggs. And I was like, okay, Sabrina. Girl, if you want to freeze them eggs, go ahead and freeze them eggs. But let's get the ball rolling, Sabrina. But again, you're freezing your eggs. I understand why you're freezing your eggs, but I still don't understand why you are trying to be in this relationship with Rich, who doesn't want children. It doesn't make any lick sense to me. But we'll pause here and we're gonna move forward, you guys. Next up, you guys, we see as Andy is in her office because she left Sabrina at her, she left her apartment, celebrating Sabrina's party so that she could go take care of this case for Zach and Fatima, right? So congratulations are in order to Zach. Zach has full custody of Michael, which, I think that would have been a slam dunk, but hey, it is what it is, right? Zach is very emotional about it when he's getting ready to sign the paperwork. And, he and Fatima, he's like, Mom. She's like, Dad, Mom, Dad. I was like, can we stop with this mom and dad thing? But okay, cool. So Fatima's phone, she got an alert on her phone, and her face went down, and Andy and Zach both noticed, and they're like, "Everything okay?" And it's like, "Yeah, everything is okay." So Zach left. Mom, bye, Dad. I was like, "Can we stop it again with the mom and dad stuff?" But hey, it is what it is. Now, moving over to Danny. Danny left the birthday party. Mind you, she was supposed to be at work, but she don't took the day off for work, right? And she's lit like a Christmas tree, right? Loose as a goose. Don't get her started, cause she full of that liquor all up in the party. So she went to the airport, and she went to see Tony in his office, and had a sexy little number on, only to find out his kids were there. So she knew about his kids, but I guess he's not. I guess his kids are not with him all the time. So she's like, she's like, what is this? Because she was like, he was like, yeah, I was gonna tell you, I had the kids for the summer. She was like, oh, child, the little boy. He said, are those real? I was like, what are you teaching your son to know if a woman's boobs are real? But okay, okay, Danny. Okay, if this is the man that you choose to be with and want to be with, girl, it is whatever. I don't care. I really don't. Truly don't care. Don't care. Do you guys care? No. We're gonna move on. Next up, you guys, we move over to Karen. So Karen got down to the salon, and there were a line of women there buying whatever it is that Pam is selling. And so Karen is asking Pam, like, did you buy this on my credit card? And I'm pretty positive, well, you guys remember, Pam got a credit card, but remember, she also doesn't know what a tax write-off is. So, Karen, you might want to keep a good old eye on Pam. So Pam told her that she got 300 orders in an hour. Okay, that's good. Trey came in. My God, I don't have anything against Trey, but Trey is giving a little bit of Aaron, just not as annoying as Aaron was, right? The thing with Trey is, you can see that he likes Karen. You can see that he's laying it on thick with Karen. And I think that's the issue that I'm kind of having, is like, okay, sir, we get it. You like her. She ain't really budging at this point, but I'm pretty sure eventually Karen's gonna budge. But hey, it is what it is. You guys will tell me how you feel in the comment section below, you guys, and we'll pause here and move forward. All right, you guys, so next up we see Andy. So Andy went down to Fatima's office just to check on Fatima, right? And, Andy was like, I saw your face and something's up. So what's up? So Fatima told Andy that she got accepted into law school. So congratulations in order for that. But is this necessarily a good time for Fatima, right? Because now you have Michael, and so you're going to be playing stepmom to Zach's child. And she hasn't told Zach yet. And I was like, oh, not good. Next up, you guys, I just want somebody to knock Hayden down a peg or bust his kneecaps, do something, right? Because he wants to go, he saw Andy, so he knows that Andy won the case for Zach, right? He said if he was Heather's lawyer, she would have lost that case. I was like, how? How would she have lost that case? Were you going to pay off a judge? Because, I mean, anybody could look at Heather, no shade, no judgment towards her being a stripper, but if you looked at that apartment, the amount of men that she had parading in and out of that apartment, anybody would deem her unfit. But hey, he feels like he would have won. Then he wants to talk to Andy about her and Jordan, about her always standing by a man. Are you mad that you don't have a woman that'll stand by you? Because Tamara's not that woman, but neither here nor there. So Andy called up Jordan like, hey, Jordan, so, I'm supposed to be meeting you today, but I'm not going to be able to make it. And he's like, oh, that's fine. So he understood. He said, then when he got ready to hang up the phone, he told Andy, I love you. She's like, oh, well, I got to go. I was like, well, damn. She can't even say nothing back. Now, Zach. I get that you're happy to, be a father to little Michael. Why does this house look like it's been ransacked? I mean, this house looked like, all the PBS threw up in it. Because that's what that house looked like. I was with Fatima, like, well, what the fuck is this? And where is my desk? Wherever, I want you to put everything back the way that you found it. And I was like, exactly. So Bryce called him because she was actually getting ready to talk to Zach. It's so funny to me. I read something that happened, but I don't know that it's 100% true. Because I read what happened. Because if you guys watch Zatima, you guys remember Bryce. When we went to Zatima, we got Bryce. But remember, on Sistas, it was originally Jake, right? Remember, we had Jake. Wonder what happened with Jake. I've heard some things, but I don't necessarily know what happened. Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. I saw a video of DeVal where he was talking about somebody where, oh God, what was the conversation? I don't want to get it off. I don't want to get it messed up. Basically, the person, he was doing a scene with this person, right? And the person flubbed, don't commit, don't get me the line on this, right? But from what I remember him saying, it was like the person thought that they had their lines down and they were wanting to go over, they were wanting to work with him for his lines, right? But then when they got on set, the person completely forgot the lines, and after that, because with Tyler Perry they only do one take and that's it. I was like, one take? My God, that's why this show is so terrible. These shows are so terrible. Y'all do it in one fucking take. But after that one take, the person was done. But it couldn't have been Jake, because I mean he was, well, maybe it could have been Jake. I don't know. I do not know. But hey, that's neither here nor there. He's gonna go and meet up with Bryce, right? And that's that. After that, after he left, Fatima, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Hayden went home, and Tamara was cooking dinner, right? And so she is talking about how she's gonna prove to him that she loves him. I'm like, oh God, can y'all please get these two off of my television screen expeditiously? So then Gary and Penelope came over, and she was looking at Gary like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, as much as I don't see it for Tamara, I'm Team Tamara in this instance. Let's go ahead and pause here, you guys, and wrap up the episode. Now, Fatima, when Zach left, she called over Angela, which I figured that's who she called, was Angela. So Angela came over, and Fatima was coloring in the coloring book. Somebody, who said that we had to color inside the lines? Well, baby, you don't necessarily have to color inside the lines. That's just what they say. I mean, you can color outside the lines if you want to. So Fatima is talking about the fact that, she got accepted to law school. She is now a new mom to this baby. She still doesn't know if Zach's Karen's baby. And I was like, so Fatima is dealing with some issues where she wants to have Zach's kids, right? But you already got two women, potentially two women that already are having his kids, and now you want to go back to school, and you're already playing stepmom, and you had your life planned out. Get it? I got it. If this ain't for Fatima, then I don't think she's been a jerk, because Fatima thought she was being a jerk. I don't think she's been a jerk. I think she's being a realist, because you're taking on all these responsibilities, especially with Michael. You're not Michael's mother. You're not even married to Zach at this point. So I get where she's coming from. Then we get Karen. So Karen went to go see a doctor, and Karen wants to have an amniocentesis done. Amniocentesis. It was the way she said it. So I was like, oh, so now you need to get it done, huh, Karen? Okay. I'm happy that Karen wants to get it done, right? I didn't like the fact that Zach went in. I mean, it's not a problem, right? It's not a problem, but why do we wait until, never mind. Do we care? We kind of do, but hey, I'm just breezing through it, you guys. Now, this dinner with Gary and Hayden, Tamara, and Penelope, yuck. Gary is a dirt bag. Oh, God. So he took a phone call, and I realized what he's doing is disgusting. And I mean, there's no paper trail. Oh my God. So I'm finna explain this to you guys because it's gonna come up in next week's episode, but I'm gonna go ahead and explain it to you right now what Gary is doing. So you guys remember that Jordan's opponent has a scandal against him for messing with an underage girl, right? Well, Gary is now, he has a girl that is signed on to facilitate this lie that Jordan has had an inappropriate relationship with an underage girl, right? So he has a woman, he just needs a cop to corroborate this. I'm like, so are y'all gonna falsify police reports and records and all that kind of stuff? Is that what you guys are gonna do? Because all he has to say is, I don't know that woman, I've never met that woman, and that can open you up to a lawsuit, Gary. Like, come on. Here's the thing. Unless they've gone a different route with Jordan, because remember, when we actually met Jordan, Jordan was a former NFL player. He played in the NFL. So, if you want to tell me, so unless we've gone off the script of what we met Jordan, because if I'm not mistaken, I do believe when we met Jordan, Jordan played foot. They said Jordan was a former football player. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do feel like I remembered that. And if that were the case, then a former football player, if he got caught up in any kind of a scandal, it would have been all over the newspapers, everything. Even if he was a politician, this would have been known information, especially if you are getting a policeman to cooperate this. So it is what it is. Tamara and at one point, what's her name, Penelope, she needs to go use the restroom, and Hayden took her to the restroom. Then Gary and Tamara, I was looking at them, I'm like, they want to have sex with each other, because eventually Gary kissed her, and I was like, you nasty bastard and you nasty slut. No shade, no, nothing against a slut, but I'm just like, y'all some hoes, both of y'all. I don't even like Hayden like that, but god damn, that's grimy on both y'all's parts. In his house. And I don't even like that little motherfucker. So Danny, she called Andy up and it went to voicemail, and then the episode ended with her writing in her journal to herself, and it was positive affirmations basically. If I left anything out with this episode review, you guys feel free to discuss it, and we can discuss it down in the comment section, you guys. And that is it. I'm gonna hop off of here, and be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. Until the next time, stay safe out there, you guys. Take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.